If you're over 60 and taking vitamin B12 every single day, I want you to pause for a moment and listen carefully. Because there's a very real chance you're doing everything right and still quietly harming your nerves. I see this more often than people realize. Almost every week in my practice, someone tells me the same thing. Doctor, I take my B12 faithfully, so why am I still exhausted? Why do my hands feel numb? Why is my balance off? Why does my mind feel foggy? Recently, a 68-year-old man asked me that exact question. He had taken vitamin B12 daily for more than 7 years. Same brand, same dose, never missed a day. His blood tests looked normal, but his energy was fading. His walking felt unsteady, and his memory was getting worse. What shocked him was this. He wasn't deficient in vitamin B12. He was taking it the wrong way. New research now shows that one very common B12 mistake, especially in adults over 60, can block absorption, starve nerve tissue, and quietly accelerate nerve damage. And the most dangerous part? Most doctors never mention it. I'm Dr. Michael Hayes. I've spent decades working with adults over 50 who struggle with fatigue, numbness, balance problems, memory changes, and early nerve decline. And today I want to explain the most common B12 mistakes seniors make, why standard blood tests often miss the problem, and how to take vitamin B12 in a way that actually supports your brain, nerves, and long-term energy. Before we continue, take a moment to comment your age and where you're watching from. And tell me, are you taking B12 but still feeling tired, foggy, or numb? Your experience helps others realize they're not alone. Most people believe that if their blood test shows a normal B12 level, everything must be fine. But after 60, that assumption is often wrong. Vitamin B12 is essential for nerve signal transmission, brain function, red blood cell production, and cellular energy. When nerves don't receive enough usable B12, they begin to malfunction. That's why the earliest signs are often subtle. Tingling in the hands or feet, mild balance issues, fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, and moments of memory loss people blame on aging. Here's the problem. As we age, the body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 declines sharply. By age 60, more than half of adults produce significantly less stomach acid. That acid is required to separate B12 from food and supplements. Without it, B12 simply passes through the body unused. I saw this clearly in a patient named Margaret, age 71. She complained of burning sensations in her feet and frequent dizziness. Her B12 level came back at 420, technically normal. She was told nothing was wrong, but her symptoms kept progressing. What most people don't realize is this. A standard blood B12 test does not show how much B12 is actually entering your cells. It only shows how much is floating in your bloodstream. In older adults, blood levels can look fine while nerve tissue is still starving. That's why so many seniors take B12 for years and feel no improvement. And this brings us to the first major mistake, the one I see more than any other. In the next part, I'll explain why the most common way seniors take vitamin B12 simply doesn't work after 60, and how changing just the form, not the dose, can make a real difference. The hidden mistake almost everyone over 60 makes with B12. Here's the first major mistake I see almost every week. Most adults over 60 take vitamin B12 as a regular tablet. They swallow it with water and assume it works like any other supplement. That assumption is the problem. After the age of 60, the body's ability to absorb vitamin B12 drops sharply. Not because of diet, not because of dose, but because of biology. To absorb B12 from the stomach, your body needs a protein called intrinsic factor. This protein is produced in the stomach lining. With age, intrinsic factor production declines. In many people, it becomes severely reduced. Without it, swallowed B12 tablets often pass straight through the digestive system with minimal absorption. I see this constantly. The 68-year-old patient I mentioned earlier took B12 faithfully for years. Same brand, same dose, same routine. Yet his nerve symptoms kept getting worse. When we changed how he took B12, not how much, the progression slowed and then stabilized. And that leads to the second common mistake, why the most popular B12 form often fails seniors. If you look at most B12 supplements on store shelves, you'll see one name repeatedly, cyanocobalamin. It's cheap, it's stable, and for many adults over 60, it's the least effective option. Cyanocobalamin is a synthetic form of vitamin B12. Your body must convert it into an active form before it can be used by nerves and brain cells. That conversion requires healthy liver function, proper enzyme activity, adequate antioxidant support. As we age, that conversion process often slows down. I saw this clearly in a 72-year-old patient named Robert. He had taken cyanocobalamin for years. His blood levels looked acceptable, but his fingers remained numb. His balance was unstable. Walking felt uncertain. When we switched him to methylcobalamin, an active form of B12, the difference was measurable. Within 1 month, his balance improved. Within 3 months, numbness decreased significantly. Research supports this. Active forms like methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin are absorbed and utilized more efficiently in older adults. The consistency problem no one talks about. Now let's talk about a mistake that has nothing to do with dose or form: consistency. Many people take B12 only when they feel tired. They skip days, they stop when symptoms improve, then restart weeks later. That approach does not work for nerves. Vitamin B12 is not a stimulant, it is a repair nutrient. Nerve tissue requires steady, daily availability of B12 to rebuild damaged myelin, the protective coating around nerves. Intermittent dosing interrupts that repair process. I saw this with a 70-year-old patient named Elaine. She took B12 only on days she felt exhausted. She noticed brief bursts of energy, but her numbness, balance problems, and memory issues continued. When she began taking B12 consistently every day, symptoms stabilized. After 2 months, progression stopped. After 4 months, balance improved. Timing, sleep, and why night dosing backfires. Another overlooked issue is when B12 is taken. Many seniors take B12 late at night. For some people, this interferes with sleep. Poor sleep increases inflammation. It raises cortisol, and it slows nerve repair. For most adults over 60, the best time to take B12 is in the morning or early afternoon. This supports daytime energy without disrupting sleep. Hydration matters too. Mild dehydration is common in older adults, and dehydration limits nutrient transport into nerve tissue. If you take B12 but rarely drink water, results will be limited. Medications that quietly block B12. Many seniors also take medications that interfere with B12 absorption or function. These include acid-blocking medications, metformin, certain long-term antibiotics. This does not mean you should stop your medications. It means B12 support must be adjusted intelligently. By now, you may realize something important. Most people are not making one mistake. They are making several small mistakes at the same time. Each one reduces effectiveness slightly. Together, they cancel out the benefit completely. The correct B12 protocol for adults over 60. Here's the approach I use with my own patients. First, form matters. Choose an active form, methylcobalamin or a combination with adenosylcobalamin. Second, delivery matters. Sublingual B12 under the tongue bypasses absorption barriers. Third, dose matters. Most seniors require 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms daily to overcome reduced absorption. Fourth, consistency matters. Take it every day. Nerve repair is slow and cumulative. Fifth, timing matters. Morning or early afternoon works best for most people. Sixth, support matters. Hydration, blood sugar control, sleep, and inflammation determine whether B12 can do its job. And finally, do not judge success only by blood tests. Pay attention to symptoms. Is numbness improving? Is balance steadier? Is mental clarity returning? Those changes matter more than a lab number. Calm closing. Vitamin B12 is powerful, but it is not magic. Taken the right way, it can protect nerves, support memory, and improve energy. Taken the wrong way, it appears useless. The difference is understanding. If you're over 60, B12 is not optional. But how you take it matters more than most people realize. Before you go, leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. Tell me what form of B12 you're taking right now. Awareness is the first step to protecting your nerves. I'll see you in the next video.